Welcome to Module 5. So Module 5 is all about NEAT, which stands for Non-Exercise Activity Thermogenesis. And this is actually one of the most effective things that you can do to help you with your weight loss journey, your fat loss journey. And what it basically means is that we need to get our bodies to move more daily. NEAT is a whole lot of different exercises, and I'm going to explain to you in this module how you can keep your NEAT up daily, how you can keep your NEAT up in general for your everyday life, and how this is going to help you to maintain your fat loss and how to sustain your fat loss forever. The more active we are in terms of our day-to-day lives, the better it is for our overall lifestyle and our overall health. You don't have to just set foot in a gym. You don't have to just do 7 HIIT sessions a week in order to be active. You just need to live a more active lifestyle, and this will honestly help you so much in terms of your results and maintaining them. I honestly swear by NEAT. It is something that I myself personally, I do every single day. Like I'm either in the garden doing something, shoveling stones in a wheelbarrow, cleaning my house. I love being active around my house and doing stuff like that because it helps me stay active, especially if I've only got 4 times a week where I can actually go to the gym and have a good session and not have to be at home with the kids or not have to be training other clients at that time. I'm actually out there keeping myself active as well as my strength training sessions. So this is something you can do too, and it's a good way for you to realize that in order to be active, you don't have to just go to the gym. All right, so I'm going to get rid of my camera so that you can focus on the slides. So I am going to use my little laser pointer here just to help me with describing certain things about why we love this thing called NEAT. So NEAT is literally one of the best workouts that you can do to achieve fat loss and a better quality of life. And why is that? Because it's helping you to keep physical. Now NEAT comes in the forms of mowing the lawns, doing the gardening, walking up the stairs, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, or taking the stairs instead of the escalator. It is parking your car the furthest away from the door so that you're getting in those extra steps before you go into the shop. It is folding your washing. And it is running around and playing with a ball or kicking a ball with the kids or just going out to the park and playing a social game of sport or sport in general. You're going to be keeping your NEAT up because you are actively moving. So a really good way for you to track your NEAT is by having, say, a watch that can track your steps, and that's going to give you a good indication whether or not the activities that you're choosing to doing day to day are helping you to keep your NEAT up. And most likely, if you are making the more conscious effort to take the stairs, park further away, a little bit of gardening here and there, mowing your lawns, out there playing with balls or kicking balls, playing social sport or sport, folding the washing, you will notice that these things all help you to keep your steps higher. When you start to track that, you start to realize that, wow, actually keeping active in my day-to-day life helps me get my steps up by 2,000 more steps a day than what I was doing. And that's fantastic because that means you are keeping your NEAT up. And that's why we love it, because it helps us to keep active when we can't go to the gym every single day, like some other people have that luxury to do. When you're a busy person and you've got, say, kids, or maybe you're a uni student, or maybe you're working and you've got lots going on, the last thing you have time to do is get to the gym every single day. So if you can get movement in your day to day by doing some of these tasks or just general daily physical tasks that keep you moving, you're going to be doing the best thing you can for your body to keep it active, physical, and healthy. So what is NEAT? NEAT is, as I said before, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and NEAT accounts for all the calories burnt in day-to-day from non-formal exercise activities such as walking, standing, climbing the stairs, gardening, kicking a ball, folding the washing, parking your car furthest away from the shop door, and even just fidgeting, like people that sit there and play with their hands or bounce their leg up and down when they're sitting still. That all accounts to your NEAT. Now, I don't want you to go and start fidgeting more just because you think that's going to help you burn more calories, because that's just silly. But what I am trying to tell you is that all these day-to-day tasks that you do are helping you to increase your NEAT. And it is all accounted towards your non-formal exercise activities. When I say formal exercise activities, I mean such as gym activities. Activities that you might do in the gym, such as a boxing class or a strength training session or a HIIT session or a group circuit session or whatever kind of exercise session you're doing, that's formal exercise. All this stuff here and so much more as well. I'm sure you can think of many other things now that I've told you what NEAT is. These other things here all account towards your NEAT, and you'll be very interested to know what the next slides have to say about how much calories are actually burnt when it comes to your NEAT versus your formal exercise activities. It's very interesting. Now let's just remind ourselves that when you're burning calories from NEAT, now look, 25 to 30%, that's quite a high range, and it's not going to be for everyone. It also depends on other factors as well. It's just a rough number. So I would probably say anywhere between 20 to 30% of your daily calories. Just bear that in mind, all right? It's not going to be exactly the same for each person. Everyone is very different, remember that, but this is just going off a baseline. So what it means is that we need to actually make sure that we are spending more time to actually create habits around being more physical day to day. Start taking the stairs more at work. Start taking the stairs more when you are out and about. Start taking the stairs more when you go to the mall. Start taking the stairs more when you're at the airport. Find better ways and more ways to keep yourself active daily. And you can also do things like parking your car further away from your work office, or making sure that when you're in the office and you're on the phone, you're getting up and you're walking. You're walking around and talking, because all of this is going to contribute to your daily NEAT. And as I said in the very first slide, the best way to track your NEAT is by getting some kind of a tracker or using a tracker that you have. Most of us have smartwatches these days, or some way of being able to track our steps. And if you can see that you're getting around 6,000 steps a day and over that, that is a good indication that you're moving your body enough throughout the day to keep nice and physical. And I know this is going to be hard for some people to start off with, because there are some of us that have sedentary jobs and getting up and down is very hard, but you just need to make the conscious effort to get up and down more. Up and down off your seat, whether it's to go get water from the kitchen downstairs, or if it's, getting up to go and chat to a colleague versus emailing someone. Finding other ways in your workplace to get up and down more, or make the effort to use your lunch break to go and actually do a walk or something extra outside for movement. It's really important that you find ways to keep moving, because the more you sit down and stay in the same position, the worse back pain you're going to have, the worse posture you're going to have, and the less likely you are to feel energized when you leave work because you've been sitting down the whole time. So getting up and moving is also going to help with your energy levels. Getting up and moving throughout the day is so important. And if your workplace is not happy with it, then I think you really need to have a chat to your manager or boss about health, and is it important within the business, and is it an important value to them? Because I certainly think it should be, and we should be encouraging everyone to be doing at least over 7,000 steps a day, every day, unless you're unwell. But yeah, it's really, really important. And I personally make this a huge effort for myself. If I'm sitting down, working on course material or emails, or working on online clients programming, or working with my nutrition coaching clients, I've got to make that effort to get up and train, or get up and go for a walk, because otherwise I'm sat down all day, and it's not good for my body, and it's not good for my energy. It's also not good for my mood. So if that's affecting me, then I'm sure it's affecting you too. So make sure you are making that effort to aim for over 7K every day. 10,000 is amazing, and if you can get that, great. But if you're sitting down most of the day and you find that near impossible, then 7,000 is a good indicator for you. All right, so touching on everything that I've spoken about, this is just to look at it in like a bit more of a visual way of where your calories are burnt in a day. So look, if we look at the top here, this is the exercise activity thermogenesis. So this is when you are, exercising formally, whatever that might look like for you. Then you've got the thermic effect of food, which has a somewhat effect on how many calories you burn a day. Then we've got NEAT, and if you look here, look at the size of NEAT, right, versus formal exercise. Now look, it is very important to do this. It's very important to eat exercise, okay? And that is because, as I mentioned in previous modules, exercise does so much for us. It does so much for our overall health. It does so much for our overall well-being. It's very important that we do it, but what we want to start detaching from exercise is that it is something we do to lose weight. Yes, it'll account to it somewhat, but we're not only exercising just to lose weight, or just to be a certain amount on the scale, or just to look a certain way. We're exercising for so much more than that, okay? So even though it is only a small percentage of the day, and NEAT is something we really want to focus on most of all, it's still something that I think should be very much considered a non-negotiable in your life, just like brushing your teeth is. And then look at this, BMR, the portion of your calories that are burnt in a day. Now, if you think back to Module 1 and Module 2, when we go over calories, you'll notice that you have your BMR, and that might be, say, 1400. And that is the amount of calories that your body burns here, just doing what it does, day-to-day functions. But we add on the total daily energy expenditure number to that BMR to give you how many calories your body needs in order to maintain and to function. So that is how many calories a day. And again, remember, everyone is so different. Each individual has their different amount of calories you'll be burning in this part here. So I hope this little visual graph just helps make sense of it all, because it just shows you visually where your calories are being burnt on a day-to-day basis. And it honestly, I really hope that by seeing this, you're not going to go into the gym and jump on a bike or a cross trainer and go, I've got to burn off 350 calories because that's how much that muesli bar was that I ate that I shouldn't have because, oh my God, it wasn't keto. All right, we want to get rid of that mindset around it. And side note, that machine doesn't know anything about you. So how does it know how many calories you as an individual are actually burning? So take all that into consideration next time you are in a class or you're at the gym and you're trying to burn calories per exercise or per session. Just focus on moving your body and working hard and working within that heart rate zone. So again, just looking here at when it comes to your day, this is where the majority of your calories are burnt. And I just want to remind you again, look how much of that is neat. So just by keeping yourself active throughout the day, you're doing something great. Okay, so don't beat yourself up about not being able to make a gym session. Okay, it doesn't matter if you don't go to the gym every day. Just keep your body moving in some way, and that literally can be around the house. Formal exercise is important, but keeping your body active every day is much more important, in my opinion. If you're wanting to start somewhere, like I said, yes, formal exercise 100% important, but just to get you started, just get moving. Just get moving that body. It honestly will make the biggest difference to your overall quality of life, and it's going to help you to get those results as well. Okay, so I've got an activity for you all to do, and I would love for you to do this because, again, remember, it's all very well learning all this content, but you need to be able to take action upon all the content that you're receiving. So you're going to pause this video, and you're going to grab out your journal, grab out your book, and you're going to write down 3 ways that you can start keeping your NEAT up. What are you going to do to be able to maintain this, and how are you going to ensure you hold yourself accountable to this daily movement? So, for example, your 3 things could be, I'm going to mow the lawns once a week instead of my partner. Another one could be, I'm going to make a conscious effort to keep my bathrooms tidy every week and clean them. I am going to park my car a kilometre away from the workplace so that I have to walk into work and get my steps up by doing that. And to be able to maintain this, well, I'm just going to make sure that it's realistic and it's something that I can actually do. And those 3 things are, and how am I going to ensure I hold myself accountable to this? Well, I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep showing up for myself, and I'm going to keep doing it because I know that A, I actually get enjoyment out of it, and B, it's going to be really good for my body, and it's going to help me keep my body active and be more physical in my day-to-day life. So make sure you do this activity and set yourself some ways that you can keep your NEAT up day to day. Set them in stone and hold yourself accountable. Do it. Make sure you do it. The only way you're going to start doing it is by actually doing so, and by doing so, the more you do, the more it becomes a habit, the more it just becomes your norm. For you to get an indication as to how many steps a day you're doing, I highly recommend you start tracking your steps. You don't have to do it forever, but for a short period of time, even if it's just for the duration of you doing your fat loss challenge for yourself. You're not on a challenge, remember, it's not a 12-week quick fix, but when you're doing this fat loss program for yourself, track your steps as well. And then once you start to track, you then start to get more intuitive as to kind of how much movement you need to be doing daily in order to see results. So track your steps using either a watch, using an app, use your smartphone, just any kind of tracker that you can get your hands on. Don't go out and spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on the best watch because this course told you to get a tracker. Just find something that you can use to help you Keep an eye on how many steps a day you're doing, and then by doing so, you're going to know exactly what you need to do in order to stay more active throughout the day to keep those steps nice and high. So I hope you've understood now how important it is to keep your steps up every single day. And when you get your steps up every single day, it doesn't mean you have to go out and go for a chronic walk or a leisurely walk every day. It just means keeping active throughout the day. You know, like I said, getting up and talking to a colleague versus emailing them, standing up and talking on your phone and actually walking around the office, listening to a podcast and while you're doing that, instead of lying on the couch, unless you're in a state of you need to lie on the couch because that's your downtime. But how about you walk around and do some cleaning in the house and stuff as well, so that you're, feeling really good and fueled positively by this podcast, but you're also moving your body at the same time. So figure out ways that are going to work for you and your lifestyle to keep your NEAT up more. And honestly, when you start making the conscious effort to move more, you are going to notice the difference in your energy levels. It's going to help you with your fat loss goals. It's going to help you with so much. So make sure you do it. Make sure you hold yourself accountable to keeping yourself moving more. And rather than finding all these excuses like, oh, I can't, it's dark, I don't have time, I start at this time and I finish at that time, try and find ways around it. I have had many clients in the past who have said to me, I don't have the time, I finish work late, it's dark. And then when we sit down and we actually break up where they can fit it in and where they can make the effort to move more, they do it and they achieve it. So you just have to stop blocking yourself and limiting your belief as to what you can do and just start making it happen for yourself more. If you start putting it out there and you start saying, I'm going to move more, I'm going to start walking to my car further away more, I'm going to start getting up and having meetings outside and walking around and using my lunch breaks as a chance to get some fresh air and walk, you will start to make it happen. It'll start happening for you. Remember, you've got to start doing these things for them to become habits, for them to become your norm. The more you do it, the more you show up for yourself, the more it's just going to naturally happen for you, and it's not going to be this huge thing that you have to make an effort for. So just get up there and try, do the best you can, and you will honestly notice such a difference. So keep that NEAT up. It's very important. On a week where you're really busy and you can't make the gym, don't stress. Don't stress about not being able to make the gym. Don't think that you've ruined your results. Don't think that it's a waste of your time. Every gym session is a good session. Every gym session is worth it. But moving your body day to day and keeping those steps up is so important too. So can't get to the gym, figure out a way to move your body around the house. Figure out a way to move your body outside. Just do what you can and do the best you can, because it will make a world of difference in your longevity and in your quality of life.